welcome to a new video of Viviendo con Conejos Maya Tambor. Today we are talking about two situations which we can run into if we live with a bag and a dog rabbit. Sometimes a lot of people are caught by surprise due to their dog rabbit has had several kids and they didn't even know she was pregnant, or maybe we know that our dog rabbit is pregnant and we build a nest, or she builds this nest and when she gives birth to the kids she puts them on another place. Anyway, we can act in this way, in a wooden box, and I say a wooden box because it's the best one to insulate from cold or hot. We place an ecological compressed paper base so that the kids are comfy. Also, this is going to help us to keep the nest much cleaner, because when the kids and the mother pee, that compressed paper is going to absorb all the pee. In this way, we are going to keep the nest for some more days, at least until the kids have opened their eyes. Then, how you can see, I have placed a lot of hay. So the mother, in this case, you can see how Maya is taking all the hay with its mouth to place and press it well and to build its own nest like this. My advice for the first nest that we build for our dog rabbit, which is expected to last approximately 10 days, the first 10 days of the kid's life, is place oat hay and fescue hay. Why oat hay and fescue hay? Because their hay is much more pleasant to the touch. The kids are going to feel much comfier having oat hay and, for example, fescue hay. I mix them because they have similar textures, but they are different. The oat one is going to give warmth to the nest, and the fescue one has a nicer touch too. And with these two, the bunnies, the kids in this case, are going to be very well on a nest like that. So in this case, we have put compressed paper, then the oat and fescue hay, and now Maya's work starts. What she's going to do is biting well all the hay, press it properly, get it together, and starting to place it at the corners. And she's going to weave it together to build a very soft nest, a really comfy nest. Here is Maya, who just given birth to 4 beautiful kids, which are being bathed by her in this moment. We see that Maya has some blood on her mouth. It's normal because the placenta is expelled after birth and then the dog eats it to remove any trail of blood. That's normal because at nature, if they live at the country, she should be really careful with those details to avoid that any predator could eat her kids. So the dog, what she does is, when she gives birth, eats all the placenta and then she licks and cleans carefully every single kid for that, keeping the nest without blood, without any trail. And this birth shows perfectly what I want to explain on this video, because Maya, well, she's an excellent mother and she has given birth several times. She's an exemplary mother. She takes care of them better than anyone else, but just this time she has given birth out of the nest. It's very unusual on her, but she has done it for any reason. Then, what she has done is placing a lot of hay on the ground. She always pulls her hair out at the last minute. She pulls her hair out a few hours before the birth. Some dog rabbits pull their hair out a week or even 2 weeks before. Maya doesn't. Maya not even 2 or 3 days before. Sometimes she leaves a small indication 1 or 2 days before, but mostly a few hours before the birth is when she pulls all her hair out. Then she pulled all her hair out, placed the 4 kids on the ground, and now they are trying to be breastfed while she carries on cleaning them. What we have to do if we didn't know that we were going to have kids and suddenly we are caught by surprise, or if our dog has given birth to kids but out of the nest, just in these cases we'll act like this. We will build a nest like I said before, and quickly will join all the kids because they are born without hair, very defenseless. That's why it's so important to join them all to keep warm each other, and then to place all the mother's hair that you see over the ground on them. It's so important to keep the mother's hair, and as you see on this video, Maya, well, she usually pulls a lot of her hair out before the birth, at the last moment, a few hours or even a few minutes before. She pulls a lot of her hair out for the kids, but as you see on this video, at night, when it's cold, what she does is the night after, once she has already given birth, she pulls more hair out. It's incredible, isn't it? Because a lot of dog rabbits don't. A lot of dog rabbits pull their hair out the first day and that's it. But well, in this case, Maya pulls her hair out the night after the birth too. Why? To protect much more her kids at night. And basically, this is what she does. To pull her hair out just before the birth, and the night after the birth, she pulls much more hair out to protect her kids at night. And look, all the hair she placed on the nest, all on her own. And as you see, she moved the hay and finally such a beautiful nest. A nest with a lot of hair, with a lot of interwoven hay, compressed, a really warm nest. And that's it. Keep in mind that the kids, how I said, are born without hair, defenseless, unable to see and blind. So it's very important that they are all together, as you can see here, to keep warm each other, because the corporal temperature, it cannot be regulated until they have their hair. We see here a few days after that they have already their hair, and you can see that white color. They keep all together. My advice the first days after the birth is don't touch anything. Let's see, you can actually handle the kids. It's a myth and nowadays it's still among the people, but it's going too far. You can touch the kids, it's even recommended. Why? Because when the dog gives birth, it might be any dead kid or it can die a few days after, and that causes bad smell, insects, ants, flies. It's so important to keep clean the nest and watch it well. What's important to watch it well is touching the kids to see that they are well. Do it visually more or less to avoid touching too much, but there's no problem. You don't even need to use any gloves. If you want to use them, it's okay if you are worried, but really, no problem. It's proof. You can find it on research articles. It's completely okay. Well, my advice is that the first 6 days, when the kids don't have their hair yet, if you can avoid touching them, much better. You can give them a visual inspection. If there's a lot of hair and you cannot see them, so move it a little bit, touch them to see that they are okay and they are alive, but not much more. Don't touch them too much, and if the mother can see us, much better. If you get on well with the mother, it's perfect because you can touch them right in front of her eyes and there's no problem. She's going to see how you touch them and letting you, and it's the best thing. But well, don't move the nest too much. I mean, the first 6 days, it's important, don't touch anything too much. Don't move the nest unless it rains and gets wet if they are outside, but it's important don't touch it on the first 6 days. At least I wouldn't touch the nest until the 6th day, and if it keeps quite clean like this, I wouldn't even touch anything until the 10th day. Keep in mind that the kids start having their hair between the 5th and the 6th day, and more or less they start opening their eyes between the 8th and the 14th day. It usually happens between the 10th and the 12th day though, but basically it will be among those days. Now that the kids have already those 10 days, like I said, we are going to proceed to change the nest. As you can see on this video, I'm trying to preserve and keep the most part possible of the mother's hair because it's going to be useful for making the new nest. Now that they have more or less those 10 days, they have already opened their eyes. This time all of them are like that. Otherwise, from the 14th day, we should help them using gauze and a chamomile infusion or some eye drops, and carefully to rub it on their eyes gently to help them to open them. Otherwise, it could be worse, and their eyes could be stuck and coming out pus from them. But usually the kids will open their eyes by themselves. And here you can see how I collect as much hair as possible since the nest is so clean and the hair in good condition. We will get all the hair, the more the better. Here, basically, the most important thing is keeping the mother's hair and changing the hay that we used the last 10 days. The same as the compressed paper, even if it's okay, it's better to change it. Once we remove what I say and the wooden box is clean, we'll place another ecological compressed paper base so that when the kids pee, the compressed paper will absorb it. We place a first big layer of compressed paper and new hay on it. In this case, my advice is trying with the alfalfa hay because it's very highly recommended for kids. If we don't place alfalfa hay now, we have to place it from the 15th day since the kid's birth. So, if we have already alfalfa hay, much better, otherwise we should get it as soon as possible. In this second nest, I would already try to place the alfalfa hay because from the 15th day, the kids already start to chew the hay. I am placing fescue hay because the alfalfa hay's delivery is delayed, so that's why I'm placing fescue hay instead. And in 5 days' time, I'll change the nest again to place the alfalfa hay. But as I say, if you have already the alfalfa hay, much better because they start eating it from the 15th day. But well, if you don't have it yet, you can place another hay instead, like fescue, oat, timothy, or any else.
Parce que je me sentais seule dans ma petite bulle. Je voulais danser, mais je me sentais comme un funambule.
Once everything is clean and tidy, we place the kids on the nest again. We are going to place them again in a corner. Although with 10 days, they are going to move, explore a little bit, but we are trying to join them. And then we are going to place the layer of mother's hair which we collected on them. And please, keep in mind that the doe rabbits nurse the kids just once or twice a day, and it usually happens when nobody bothers them or when they think that nobody is going to annoy them, so don't panic if we don't see them to do it. Here we are placing the mother's hair to protect and warm them up so that they can recover the heat little by little. Once everything is already placed, we can take all the kids with the mother because we have already a new very clean nest, which will last between 5 and 10 days, although as they are older, we should change it every 5 days. And here they are, the 4 kids on their new clean nest, with as much mother's hair as possible and Maya's eating close to them. An important aspect to consider, only mother's milk up to the 15th day. From the 15th day, they can already chew alfalfa hay. From the 18th day, they can already chew pellets for baby rabbits. And also from the 18th day or the next 2 days, we'll place a bowl for drinking water. And that will be the kids feeding from the 15th day to the 40th or 45th day, when the doe rabbit weans the kids in a natural way. From this point, they'll stop drinking mother's milk in a natural way because the mother will stop nursing them. Well, then until the 40th or 45th day, basically mother's milk, hay, preferably alfalfa hay, pellets, preferably pellets for baby rabbits, and water. Once the doe rabbit weans the kids, basically only alfalfa hay, pellets for baby rabbits, and water. That's all. Nothing else up to the 3rd month from birth, when we'll start with the appropriate vegetables, which I showed you on this video at this link. And up to when will they be on the nest? Well, from the 15th day, the kids could already leave the nest, but usually it's on the 16th, 17th, or 18th day. On those days, they leave the nest. What does it mean? Well, that they get out of the nest, or then, if they are on a similar nest to mine, then from the 15th or 16th day, they already jump that little wooden box and they start exploring the space. Although I usually keep the nest at least up to the doe rabbit weans the kids, or even up to 60 days as they are outside. They prefer to sleep all together and they are warmer there, but also I add an extra protection to keep them warmer. But at least keep it 1 month if they are inside. It doesn't bother anyone and they are much comfier and they recognize it as their place where eat and sleep.
Parce que je me sentais seule dans ma petite bulle. Je voulais danser mais je me sentais comme un funambule. Parce que je me sentais seule et t'es arrivé.
I think we shouldn't hurry stages. I think the most important thing is that they are comfy and nothing better than keep the nest. Look at them, how they enjoy with 15 days on their nest. They are already eating hay, trying new textures and identifying a new food stuff, because up to now they have just tried the mother's milk. And well, we have to talk about the mother. Well, it's so important to take care of the mother. Here we can see how Maya is eating pellets for baby rabbits. It's so important to give her these pellets at the gestation and lactation stages. In addition, I'm giving her some vitamin granules, some special pellets for this stage, a food supplement for stress periods like pregnancy, birth, and lactation. Every 6 days, I'm giving her a dose, which is 6 little spoonfuls of that special supplement to keep her strong and healthy. Also, here we can see how the kids are growing up, always all together, so beautiful all of them, and they like to be all together while Maya is watching out for them. And as you can see, she's eating now close to them. We must always take care of the mother with a lot of food, pellets for baby rabbits, alfalfa hay too, and plenty of water, as well as some perfect herbs for the gestation and lactation stages, like for example raspberry bush or dandelion. But well, on another video we'll talk more about the mother, But remember, she has to take pellets and hate the same like the kids.
Parce que je me sentais seule dans ma petite bulle. Je voulais danser mais je me sentais comme un funambule.
And up to here this video will leave Maya to rest, and I hope you enjoyed it and you have understood better the kids stage.